Everybody out on the fence.
When there, in the pool, we drown the sex offenders.
Back to your cells.
Gangs. Violence. Drugs.
Antananarivo Prison in Madagascar is a place with a long history that many people don't know about. This prison, located in the capital city of Madagascar, Antananarivo, is one of the toughest prisons in the world. Just keep watching to find out why. Madagascar is an island country in the Indian Ocean, and like many other countries, it has its challenges, but one of the biggest challenges it faces is how to manage its prison system. Antananarivo Prison is one of the most well-known prisons in Madagascar because of the tough conditions that prisoners face there. Antananarivo Prison, also known as Antanamora Prison, has been in existence for many years. The prison was built many years ago, and it was meant to house a certain number of prisoners. But over the years, the number of people held in the prison has increased significantly. This has led to overcrowding, which is one of the biggest issues in the prison today. Many people are packed into small cells, and there is little space for them to move around. The prison was designed to hold about 800 prisoners, but today it holds more than 3,000. This overcrowding has made life in the prison very difficult for those who are held there. The conditions inside Antananarivo Prison are very harsh. The cells are small, and there are many people in each cell, so prisoners do not have much space to move around or even lie down. The lack of space means that prisoners often have to sleep on the floor or on thin mats. There is also a lack of basic necessities like food, clean water, and medical care. The food that is provided to prisoners is often not enough, so many prisoners rely on their families to bring them food. But not all prisoners have families who can help them, so they have to rely on the little food that is given to them by the prison. Clean water is another big issue in Antananarivo Prison. There is not enough clean water for all the prisoners, so they often have to drink dirty water, which can make them sick. The lack of clean water also means that hygiene is a problem in the prison. There are not enough toilets for all the prisoners, and the ones that are there are often not clean. This can lead to the spread of diseases, which is a big problem in the prison. Medical care is also very limited in Antananarivo Prison. There are not enough doctors or nurses to take care of all the prisoners, so many people do not get the medical care they need. When prisoners get sick, they often have to wait a long time to see a doctor, and sometimes they do not get to see a doctor at all. This has led to many prisoners dying from illnesses that could have been treated if they had received proper medical care. The overcrowding and harsh conditions in Antananarivo Prison have led to many problems. One of the biggest problems is the spread of diseases. Because there are so many people in a small space, diseases can spread very quickly. This is made worse by the lack of clean water and poor hygiene in the prison. Tuberculosis is one of the most common diseases in the prison, and many prisoners have died from it. Other diseases like HIV, AIDS, and cholera are also common in the prison. The lack of food and clean water has also led to malnutrition among the prisoners. Many prisoners do not get enough to eat, and the food they do get is often not nutritious. This has led to many prisoners becoming weak and sick. Malnutrition can make it harder for prisoners to fight off diseases, so they are more likely to get sick and die. The overcrowding in the prison has also led to violence among the prisoners. When there are too many people in a small space, it can lead to tension and fights. Prisoners often have to fight for space, food, and other basic necessities. This has led to many people getting hurt or even killed in the prison. The prison guards also sometimes use violence to control the prisoners. This has led to a cycle of violence in the prison that is hard to stop. The prison is also known for its poor living conditions. The cells are dirty, and there are not enough beds for all the prisoners. The prisoners often have to sleep on the floor, and there is little ventilation in the cells, which makes them very hot and stuffy. The lack of ventilation also means that the air in the prison is often filled with the smell of sweat and waste. This makes life in the prison very uncomfortable for the prisoners. Another big issue in Antananarivo Prison is the lack of legal representation for the prisoners. Many of the prisoners in the prison have not been convicted of a crime, but they are being held in the prison while they wait for their trial. Because there are so many people in the prison, it can take a long time for a prisoner to get a trial. Some prisoners have been waiting for years to have their case heard in court. This means that many people are being held in prison even though they have not been found guilty of a crime. The lack of legal representation makes it hard for prisoners to defend themselves and get a fair trial. The prison system in Madagascar is underfunded and understaffed, which has made it difficult to improve the conditions in Antananarivo prison. The government does not have enough money to build new prisons or hire more staff, so the overcrowding and poor conditions continue. The staff that does work in the prison is often overworked and underpaid. This has led to low morale among the staff, which has made it difficult for them to do their job properly. Because of the harsh conditions in the prison, many prisoners have tried to escape. There have been several escapes from Antananarivo prison over the years, but most of the prisoners who try to escape are caught and brought back to the prison. The prison guards have to be very vigilant to prevent prisoners from escaping, but the overcrowding and poor conditions make it difficult for them to keep an eye on all the prisoners. The international community has raised concerns about the conditions in Antananarivo prison. Several human rights organizations have called on the government of Madagascar to improve the conditions in the prison and to reduce overcrowding. These organizations have also called for the government to provide more food, clean water, and medical care to the prisoners. They have also called for the government to speed up the legal process so that prisoners do not have to wait so long for their trial. The government of Madagascar has acknowledged that there are problems in the prison, but they have said that they do not have the resources to fix them. They have said that they are working on plans to improve the prison system, but it will take time and money to do so. In the meantime, the prisoners in Antananarivo prison continue to live in harsh conditions. There are also concerns about the treatment of women and children in Antananarivo prison. There are women and children who are held in the prison, and they often face the same harsh conditions as the men. Women in the prison are often held in separate cells, but the conditions in their cells are just as bad as the conditions in the men's cells. The children in the prison are often held with their mothers, but they do not receive any special care or attention. This has led to concerns about the well-being of the children who are held in the prison. There have been efforts to improve the conditions in Antananarivo prison, but progress has been slow. Some non-governmental organizations have tried to provide food, clean water, and medical care to the prisoners, but their efforts have not been enough to make a big difference. The government has also tried to improve the prison system by building new prisons and hiring more staff, but these efforts have been hampered by a lack of resources. The harsh realities inside Antananarivo prison are not just isolated to the confines of its walls, but are a symptom of broader societal issues in Madagascar. With over 3 times the number of inmates the facility was designed to hold, the strain on resources is immense. This overcrowding not only leads to a lack of space for the inmates, but also exacerbates all the other problems within the prison, including the spread of diseases, the scarcity of food and water, and the overall deterioration of living conditions. In such a confined space, tensions are high, and the potential for violence increases. Prisoners often find themselves in a constant state of fear, not just from the harsh conditions, but from each other as well. The lack of privacy and the close quarters make it difficult for anyone to feel safe. Despite these challenges, there is a sense of resilience among the prisoners. Many of them have been through unimaginable hardships, yet they continue to survive in a system that seems to have forgotten them. The strength of these individuals is a testament to the human spirit, even in the most trying of circumstances. However, this resilience is not enough to overcome the systemic issues that plague the prison. Without significant changes, the conditions in Antananarivo prison will likely remain dire, and the cycle of suffering will continue. One of the most heart-wrenching aspects of life in Antananarivo prison is the fate of those who are held there without being convicted of a crime. These individuals, many of whom are awaiting trial, are forced to endure the same harsh conditions as those who have been sentenced. The slow pace of the legal system in Madagascar means that some prisoners wait for years to have their cases heard. During this time, they are subjected to the same overcrowded cells, lack of basic necessities, and poor treatment as everyone else. This situation is a clear violation of their rights, yet it continues to happen due to the inefficiencies in the justice system. The future of Antananarivo prison is uncertain. The prison is in desperate need of reform, but it is unclear when or if that reform will happen. The government has said that they are committed to improving the prison system, but it is unclear if they will be able to do so, given the many challenges that Madagascar faces. In the meantime, the prisoners in Antananarivo prison continue to live in harsh conditions with little hope for the future. We're not saying that they should have a luxury lifestyle, but this is just too much. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what crimes they've committed because they are already being punished. But if you think that's as far as we humans can go, then I think you should check out the video on your right-hand side.